I was actually seeing more in a wave. You're finding sections that you never saw before.
Surfing, it's a feeling. You don't think balance, you feel it.
It's like riding a bicycle. At high speed, you have to lean.
Welcome back, or welcome to the Surf Mastery Podcast, education and inspiration for better surfing and a better surfing life. Today we're going to dive into 3 of the best tips from 3 of the best episodes in the last 10 years of the Surf Mastery Podcast. So let's kick it off with tip number 1, which is looking for the details in the wave. And we just heard Tom Carroll talking about seeing more in a wave. About a week before I interviewed Tom, we'd been surfing together in some sort of waist to chest high waves, very slow beach break waves, and I was struggling to even catch the waves, and Tom was just shredding. He was surfing so fast, full roundhouse cutbacks on these tiny little waves that I could barely catch, and I was dumbfounded. And so I got the pleasure of sitting down with him and talking about how he does it. Some of the best surfing advice that I've ever got, and it's stuck with me ever since, which is looking for the finer details of the wave, the way water moves, etc. So let's hear a bit of a longer quote from Tom from episode 2.
Particularly on little waves that have got no power, and we're looking for opportunity. So just to get that momentum going, that will carry you into the next turn. So with a finer view for that and a finer eye for that, we get to sort of, understand water movement. That's that much better, because a lot of surfing is all about understanding water movement and making it second nature.
So you're almost looking for the smaller waves and ripples on the small wave.
We're kind of looking for water movement to catch. We're looking for that sort of change in light on the water, the way the light's bouncing off the water, and then you get that moving lump. It can mean a bump coming the other way from a wind chop, or something doubling over itself, sort of doubling up on itself. And that takes so much practice to really understand what a little small wave is going to do. It's and that's what happened for me. I got to understand what water was doing better from that time spent, that kind of intimate moments, those intimate moments where...
So looking for the finer details in the way water moves and the way that waves break not only helps us when we're surfing the wave, but helps us to read the ocean better when we're sitting there trying to choose the right waves or be in the right position, and even paddling into waves, which is a big part of the theme in my course. I've got the Surf Mastery Method mini course, which is available at surfmastery.com, where I go into the details of the details with visuals and how you can apply it to your surfing to have a perspective change and what you're looking for both on a wave and in the water when you're looking for waves, paddling into waves, etc. So go to surfmastery.com for details on the course. It basically summarizes everything that I've learnt from the last 10 years of doing this podcast in a very affordable little package. Go to surfmastery.com to check out details on that one. Tip number 2 this is from episode 3 with Matt Griggs. Matt Griggs was the Rip Curl team coach and of course Mick Fanning's coach through his world titles. And the quote that you heard at the beginning was, "You don't think balance, you feel it." And I remember this one hitting home pretty hard because I am definitely quite a cerebral person who thinks a lot. And if you want to be a good surfer, you have to be going on feeling and instinct. So the lessons learnt from this interview with Matt Griggs definitely shaped my surfing from that moment forward. So let's hear from Matt Griggs from episode number 3.
Absolutely. If you look at surfing, it's a feeling. You don't think balance, you feel it. So if you're going to be a great surfer, you'll notice that the best guys like Owen, guys like Kelly, they have such a good feel for the board. They have such a good feel for the wave. So even if we talk about something like spatial awareness, you can see where you are with your eyes, but for everyone that's, done a cutback before, you might not have turned your head all the way around to look at the whitewater yet, but you have a feeling of where it is. So for these people that have a very sensitive feeling, they tend to go a lot better with surfing. When you open up your mind, and Keely meditation is such a direct way to do it, you open up feeling. And when you do that, you develop a closer touch and a closer feeling of balance and a closer affinity to the wave. But not only that, you also learn presence. You also learn focus, so you won't be distracted.
That was Matt Griggs from episode number 3. He also appeared again as a return guest in episode 32 and 46. But I urge you to go back and listen to that original interview. I hope that little quote inspired you to do so. Matt Griggs from episode 3. Now we're going to hear from Clayton Nianaba from episode 14. In this episode, Clayton breaks down the mechanics of the wave, what a surfboard is designed for, and of course, surfing technique. So let's hear a little bit from that episode.
What a wave does is it draws water from the bottom up to the top and then throws it down. So you've got two motions happening. You've got the drawing off the bottom and then gravity throwing the lip down. So when good surfers go to the bottom and they lean, it allows the wave to pull more of their board up to the top. Every single aspect of a surfboard is engineered around turning. It's like riding a bicycle. At high speed, you have to lean.
That was Clayton Nianaba from episode 14, talking about leaning into a bottom turn. Is kind of how I summarize it. It's an in-depth interview talking about the mechanics of the wave itself. And Clayton simplifies it beautifully. If we think about the bottom of the wave, there's water drawing up towards the top. It's a little more complex than that, but it's so beautifully simplified with that. And then the design of the surfboard is designed to be surfed on rail, and the best way to get that surfboard on rail in order to catch a ride to the top of the wave is to lean into it. Such a beautiful, unique, and simple way of looking at surfing, and that interview really did change the game for me. A lot of surf coaching can be very complex and complicated, and Clayton simplifies it beautifully and looks at it very holistically. So I urge you to go back and listen to episode 14 with Clayton Nianaba and get some more details on that little quote there. Also, the second interview with Clayton was at episode 25 as well, which was a great interview as well. These 3 episodes really do complement each other very well, I feel. We've got Tom Carroll talking about the details, looking for the finer details. I think it's really important. And if you want to be good at anything that you do, whether that's surfing or music or accounting, it's about the finer details and getting better and better at the details. So in order to do that, we have to start looking, and we have to know what to look for as well. And then, of course, we need to have a calm, present state in order to do that, and we also need to be in touch with our feeling and our instinct. So that's what Matt Griggs is talking about. And of course, we also need to understand how a wave works and breaks, how a surfboard works, and of course we need to understand surfing technique, which is what Clayton is talking about in episode 14. So these 3 episodes, I'm so thankful to have done them 10 years ago, because they really did guide not only my surfing, my personal surfing, but also my surf coaching career. And of course, it fed into a lot of the other interviews I've done since then. And I will remind the listeners, I have summarized a lot of that stuff into the Surf Mastery Method. I've got the mini course is available at surfmastery.com, where it summarizes everything that I've learnt as a surfer, a surf coach, and of course having done this podcast, and not talking too much about what happens on the wave actually, Because that's what every other surf course is doing, and that's what Clayton's website does beautifully. The difference is with my courses, we're talking about everything that happens before you get to your feet. So everything that happens between when the surfboard is under your arm and under your feet. So that's reading the ocean, choosing the right waves, paddling into the wave, and popping up. The hardest parts of surfing, in my opinion. That's what my course is all about. So go to surfmastery.com and check out the details of that and sign up. Great way to support the show as well. So to summarize today's episode, looking for the finer details on a wave to see more in the wave, being present and calm and in touch with your feelings so that you can surf from that part of you rather than overthinking. Coincidentally, it helps you in every other part of your life as well. Thank you, Matt Griggs. And of course, Clayton talking about understanding the wave, the surfboard, and surfing technique. So those episodes, episode 2, episode 3, and episode 14. Until next time, keep surfing.
I was actually seeing more in a wave. You're finding sections that you never saw before.
Surfing is a feeling. You don't think balance, you feel it.
It's like riding a bicycle. At high speed, you have to lean.
You don't think balance, you feel it. You don't think balance, you feel it.